Hello viewers, today we will discuss Introduction to Criminology, what is crime, goals of criminology, theoretical approaches of criminology, branches of criminology, and criminology and criminal justice system.
Criminology is the scientific study of crime. Simple enough, but, and this is a big but, it's not just about why someone breaks the law. It's also about how we as a society react to it. Our laws, the justice system, the whole shebang. And to get the full picture, it pulls ideas from everywhere: sociology, psychology, even biology.
Which brings us to a really basic question. What even is a crime? And yeah, that sounds super obvious, doesn't it? But like pretty much everything we're talking about today, the answer has a lot more layers than you'd expect.
Okay, so the most straightforward black and white answer is the legal one. A crime is anything that breaks the law. Period. That's our starting point, our baseline. But believe me, that is not the whole story. And here's the twist. This is where it gets really interesting. The whole idea of what crime is, it's what we call a social construct. That means the line between legal and illegal isn't some fixed, universal thing. Nope, it's drawn by people, by society, and that means it can be moved or erased altogether. You can see this so clearly when you just look around, both at history and across the globe. I mean, think about Prohibition in the US. Drinking alcohol was a major crime, and now, well, it's obviously not. Or think about how something that's totally fine in one country could get you thrown in jail in another. It just goes to show you that what we call crime is always changing, shaped by what we value as a society. All right, so we've got our definitions locked in. Now we can finally get back to that huge question: why? To answer it, criminologists have come up with a bunch of different theories. And you can think of these theories like different pairs of glasses. Each one gives you a unique way of looking at the problem. So here's a quick look at 5 of the big ones. Each one has a totally different take. First up, the classical theory. It basically says crime is a choice. People weigh the pros and cons and decide to do it. Simple. Then you have biological and psychological theories. These look for the cause inside a person: their genes, their brain, their personality. But then the next one flips that completely on its head. Sociological theories say, nope, look outside the person. They point to things like poverty, where you grew up, who your friends are. And finally, there's critical/conflict theory, which argues that crime is all about power. The people in charge make laws to keep themselves on top. So just to really hammer this home, let's put 2 of these ideas right next to each other. You've got the biological theories looking inward at a person's genetics, their physiology. Is it nature? And then on the other side, you've got sociological theories looking outward at their neighborhood, their family, their social class. Is it nurture? It's a fundamental split in how we try to answer the why question. Okay, so we've got all these different theories, and they're all kind of competing with each other. But you might be thinking, so what? This is all just for academics, right? Absolutely not. These ideas have huge, real-world impacts. They literally shape how our entire justice system works. And this is something you've got to remember. This isn't just stuff for textbooks. The research criminologists do directly affects the laws we all have to follow, how police do their jobs, and all the different ways we try to make our neighborhoods safer for everyone. And you can actually see how it flows, step by step. It all starts with the research. Scientists gathering data, testing these theories. That work gets into the hands of policymakers, the people writing the laws. And those laws, well, they define the whole justice system, from the cops on the street to the prisons. And what's the end goal of this whole chain? It's simple: safer communities for all of us. So when you boil it all down, criminology isn't just about thinking, it's about doing. It has really clear goals. Figure out the root causes of crime. Understand just how much it affects people. Take a hard look at our justice system. And maybe the most important one of all, come up with smart ways to stop crime from happening in the first place. But here's the thing. The world never stays the same, does it? Society is always changing. And that means the challenges for criminologists are always changing too. This is a field that has to constantly evolve just to keep up. Think about it. New tech, new ways we live and interact, all of that creates brand new ways for people to commit crimes. And that means we need brand new ways to think about justice. Criminology can't just stick with the old answers from 50 years ago. It has to stay on its toes. And this constant change has led to some really fascinating new areas of study. You've got penology, which asks, hey, do our prisons and punishments actually work? Then there's victimology, which completely flips the script and focuses on the victims of crime. You even have environmental criminology, which studies how something as simple as the layout of a park can affect crime. And then, of course, there's the biggest, newest frontier of them all: cybercrime. I mean, the internet has created an entirely new landscape for crime, right? Hacking, online scams, harassment, you name it. And this is a massive challenge for criminologists today. How do you police a place that has no physical borders? What even counts as a crime scene when it's all just data?
And that really brings us full circle, leaving us with one last big thought. We started out by saying that what we call crime is something societies decide on. Well, as technology keeps changing our world faster and faster, it's also changing what crime can even mean. So the real question for the future is this: can our sense of justice change fast enough to keep up?